foods that we typically think of as comfort foods, and she makes it a little bit healthier. So instead of our lasagna having like 800 or 900 calories with 25 grams of saturated fat, this one will have 500 calories and will have like only 7 grams of saturated fat. So it's still not like, ooh, health food, but it's better for you because I can't give up the foods that I love. I just can't. So, hello, Lindsay. How are you doing? Welcome in. Oh, great. I was recommended. Yay. I like that. Well, I'm so glad you came by. I like chunky sauces sometimes, so it depends on what I'm eating, Andy. So when I'm doing a lasagna, though, because we're already going to have the textures of the meat and the mushrooms, and then we've got the creamy texture from the ricotta and the spinach, I don't really want a chunky sauce in there for this one. I love Canara. Yes, Venus Tranquility. Canara is an amazing cook and an amazing Twitch streamer. She's hilarious. She's knowledgeable. She's safe food kitchen. Because I've seen some streamers, they're like, here's some chicken, let me go run my hands under the water. And it's like, oh, I kind of need soap and water after you've been touching chicken. I mean, unless you're trying to get the people sick that are eating your food. So, smoked salt, smoked garlic. I love to put my garlic in the oven and then let it just cook with some olive oil, and then so roasting the garlic is awesome. But I don't know that I've ever smoked garlic. I bet that would be good. So English is not your native language. So sometimes you don't make sense. That's okay. You know what? I don't have dyslexia. English is my first language, and sometimes I don't make sense. So either. You're out doing errands. I'm so glad you came by. So wait a minute. I'll sing you a song. So can we give a shout out to Thistle and Oak? They are also food and drink streamers, and they started more recently. And they're out in Nashville. They're awesome. And it's Lindsay and Paul was a chef. They're both musicians. Paul was a chef. Lindsay worked as a bartender. So you see some really amazing food, amazing drinks. And on Saturdays, you can get a little music in as well. So if you're ever in Nashville, go check out Thistle and Oak. But you can check them out on Twitch until you make it to Nashville. So I'm doing fantastically. See, perfect. Welcome in, Ash. Nice to see you. Thank you for the follow. Hey, guys, we're getting really close to 1,000 followers. Robbie and I are going to put our heads together about what we can do when we hit 1,000 followers. I mean, we're less than 50 away from that. But do you guys have any ideas of what you would like the celebration of 1,000 flowers,
yes. Lots of flowers.
Where are my 1,000 flowers, Robbie? I want them now. What you want it to be. Because we're like, we don't know what you're supposed to do for that. But we feel like you should be doing something, right? Hello, tea-sipping elf. Welcome in. A tea party? Spoken like somebody from the UK. A nice tea party. As long as the tea party means T stands for like tequila. Just kidding. Kind of. Okay.
You do like your tequila.
Not as much as you do. I think you drink more tequila than I do. I'm a vodka.
Well, only because I like a narrower range, and you're like, just give me whatever.
Yeah. So, okay. So I've got the sauce going and simmering. I think with the Jubilee. Oh yeah, that's right. The Jubilee's coming out. What about mezcal? Robbie does not like mezcal at all.
It's got to be very light. The smokiness of it kind of gets to me. Like I should be choking.
He's like, why does this drink taste like barbecue? I was like, is that a bad thing? I don't know.
Hey,
Is
I'll
it?
try a brisket margarita
A brisket
before
margarita.
mezcal again.
Okay, well, I want you to make sure sleep. As a therapist, I can tell you that sleep is one of the most important things for a variety of reasons. So if you got to get sleep, you got to get sleep, for sure. But I'm so glad that you stopped by to say hello. I'm so glad that you were here. Okay, what do I want to do next? Why don't we make the crumble? And then, hello, Rachel. How are you? I don't know Islay malts. Don't know that I've ever had an Islay malt. What is it? Is that like? I hate to even say. What is it? Do you know what it is? No. Okay. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Robbie's hiding from his sister. There's chopping coming up. I'm going to clean the garlic off of this. We probably don't want garlic flavor in our crumble. That's going to be my guess. And we never did. Oh, we didn't get that other camera to work yet, did we? Our wide shot camera decided to stop working in the last stream. All because Robbie decided to move a cable and it said, I don't like that. And then Robbie's like, okay, I'll put it back. And it said, no. So we need to figure that out this weekend too. What did we do to make the other camera angry? Because we don't know. Let's see. It's a super peaty scotch. Oh. They all taste care. Well, see, Robbie doesn't really like brown alcohol. So the bourbons, the scotches, the whiskeys, all of those things, Robbie's really not. I like them. But, I mean, my mom used to drink scotch. But my mom didn't drink good scotch. That was one of the funny things about my parents. They could have totally afforded good alcohol, but they prefer my mom. So Andy, I'm going to tell you something, and Pops, and you're going to like, and Lindsay, if you're still here. My mom liked her scotch out of the plastic bottles. So she'd get the cheapest scotch she could. And I said, Mom, this doesn't even really taste like scotch. And she goes, I know, that's why I like it. And I'm like, okay. Let's see here. What kind of camera is it? It is a Sony something something. I can't see it from here. But it was one that came, hopefully maybe before we get on the road this time we can have our streaming on the road gear done. But we have a whole pack of stuff and this came in it for streaming on the road. Hello, Gideus. How are you? So, yeah, I know, Andy. I know. I told you. I probably should have told you, sit down. I'm going to tell you a very scary story about my mom. So, I know. We totally should have had that when we told the story. We have new sound effects, so we're trying to remember to use them. It might just be a bad cape. Oh, that's you. Okay. I'm doing pretty good. I'm good. You think the tonic ruins the gin? Okay. I actually really I think it's a good summer drink, but I totally get that. Oh, Robbie's he's got the Stream Deck. He got that set up about a week ago, and he's been playing with it. So now he has all these sound effects. So that's like the scary slasher movie sound effect. Sorry. That is okay. I think that was the point, to catch you unawares. Okay, so we're going to start working on our strawberry rhubarb crumble. And we need about 2 pounds of rhubarb. I can't even tell you, like one of my favorite desserts was my grandmother's strawberry rhubarb pie, her pie. So we're going to chop all of this up, and I need to pull this out. Let's see. We're going to take these and slice them. I think I don't want the stringy part of these. So we're gonna kind of pull those off. It's like celery. If you're doing something with celery and you don't want it really stringy, just peel that top layer off of it. If you don't mind it being stringy, or you're gonna be cutting it really small, don't worry about it. But I think I need the Y cutter. I don't know if this one's gonna work. So.
Rachel Angel 10 donated $5. Thank you. Chop Robbie.
He's so excited about this.
What?
All right. So try to get here. Come on over. I'm gonna show him right now. So if you don't know, one of the things we do here is if you donate $5 or you do 500 bits, you can make Robbie take over and cook for 5 minutes wherever I am. Sometimes, and usually you get a little more than that.
And we try to limit it to just once every 30 minutes, because no one wants to see me longer than that. Let's be real.
Unless, I mean, that is a false statement, because they wouldn't do it if they didn't want to see you longer. You don't want to do it. That's different. So, drum roll. We have I think we have a rim shot. Do we have a drum roll?
I was downloading those. I don't have them set up quite
Okay.
yet. And then
All
there
right.
was Rachel donating money, so I got away from it.
Andy says he's going to finish his hot drink before you go all crazy on your sound effects. So this didn't say to chop the rhubarb, but we're going to. And Robbie, what you're going to do is you're going to take these, and if they're thicker than this one, this is probably one of the thinner ones. Okay, we want them to be about that thick. Okay, and then we're going to chop them.
Oh, and then chopping.
And then chopping them, and they're going to go in this
sounds
bowl.
like a lot of work.
And then,
Thanks, Rachel.
yeah, and then strawberries. Have you guys ever seen this with strawberries?
I don't know what you're showing them yet, so maybe, and maybe not.
If you want to get all of this stuff off of the strawberries, you can take a straw. I don't like the straw for it, though. This one's going to collapse.
Look at these skills.
Look at you. You take your straw, and if you've got like a plastic or a metal straw or whatever, those are better. And then you just put them through the strawberry
Nice pro tip.
like that. And then the leaves will usually come right off. This one was a little bigger, but
So would you like me to cut this one in half?
yes, but you can cut the leaves off of it. Oh, this is the wrong bowl for that. This is where the cut stuff needs to go. The trash is over here, Robbie.
Oops.
okay.
Where's the Robbie oops counter? I'll quickly catch up to Dana.
So there we go. All right. Strawberries and cream is great for tennis. You're looking up drinks that use rhubarb. Ooh, tell me when you find one. Ooh, you want to learn how fennel looks? We can do something with fennel sometime. I don't have any right now. Let's see the top of Robbie's head. Dun, 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 dun. And which one is it? Is it I got the right, I used the Stream Deck. I'm so excited. Look at me.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Rhubarb and ginger gin is amazing. Oh, so what do you do with the rhubarb? Do you like make
That was a terrible cut.
stick it in the blender or something and kind of or do you cook it down into something? Look at that pro. Look at him go. Oh, it's ready made. So you make, it's a rhubarb and ginger gin, or is it ginger gin and then you have like a rhubarb stuff? Most are lemonade. Well, I love rhubarb with the strawberries because strawberries are really sweet and the rhubarb gives it kind of that tart, sour flavor with the sugar. It's great. Okay, I will look. Edinburgh Gin Company. Oh, that's so funny. I was talking about that. So Pops, that's what it is. It kind of gives you like a sweet, like a tart, sour flavor. Yep. Do you know what it tastes like? Rhubarb?
No.
Okay.
It tastes like rhubarb. I mean,
It does taste like rhubarb. Oh, rock your knife. Yes. And hold the blade.
a lot of judging going on in this kitchen.
No, it's
So
just
much
feedback.
judging.
It's feedback. I bet that is a pretty beverage. Rhubarb makes the colors and stuff so good.
Hey, I put it in the right bowl that time.
Yeah, so, and Andy, that's the way I was introduced to rhubarb was for pies, but adding the strawberries in to sweeten it up a little bit so you didn't have that sharp sour flavor in it. The other thing I've done is cooked rhubarb down in a lot of cream and then putting that with some ice cream. So you have like the cream, like a custardy, sugary, creamy thing, kind of like we made the basil cream custard the other day, like that, but then you pour it over the, is that all of it?
I know, it was amazingly fast, right?
Good, then you can do some strawberries.
Oh. Is this supposed to go in there?
Uh-huh, yep.
I'll do it the right way.
Yeah, a little bit. Green apples are a little bit sweeter, I think, than rhubarb is, but good job. Good job, Robbie. Andy says good job.
Thank you, Andy. I
let's see here.
appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm not going to let it go for 25 seconds.
No, that's fine. That's what it's designed for, so you can stop it when needed. So am I using the straw method on these?
You can do whatever you want. I was just showing a way to do it. And you can go the other way too. Ooh, strawberry rhubarb crumble muffins. Any kind of muffin that's got that crumbly top on it.
It's still there.
Okay,
Is that good enough?
probably, yeah. Yes, like a coffee cake. I love that. Do you remember as a kid, you know, there was the zebra cakes and the...
Zebra cakes.
And the, obviously, ho-hos and ding-dongs and all those things. But there were the little coffee, like the cinnamon coffee cake crumble things in those little packages. Those were my favorite.
Am I doing all of these?
Yes, we need the whole thing of strawberries. If you want to do them another way, you're more than welcome to. You can go the other way and go through the bottom to the top too.
Hold on, have these been tested?
Have they been tested?
Yeah.
No. Yes, the little streusel cake. Loved that. That was my favorite.
They're still good.
Super underwhelming. I mean, you know, it's not like I look at a Twinkie and I go, oh my gosh, my favorite, but it's more of a nostalgia thing, you know.
It's very good.
If you have real food, why have a Twinkie that you can put in your pantry for 10 years and it's still good?
Are these just going in there?
We'll probably cut them in half.
It's a magic straw. It's just going straight through it like a knife. I know.
American candies in the UK can be expensive. You know what? UK candy is very expensive in the United States. I guess it's that having to go across the pond thing. Hello, Ash. How are you? What's up? Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. What is a Jaffa cake? I don't know what a Jaffa cake is.
I don't either.
Is it? It must be a UK thing, Jaffa cakes. It's legally a cake. It's legally a stale cake. Perfect. Robbie is sacrificing himself. He didn't really have a choice, though. His sister paid money to make him do this.
Oh, I think it was because I sacrificed a taste.
Oh,
test
you
the
sacrificed
strawberry.
a taste. I know. Just in case one was
It's
bad.
very hard to not test a second one. First one was
Sponge
very
base. Here's a Jaffa cake. Sponge base with orange jelly
puppy.
middle and then coated in chocolate.
good.
Interesting.
My helpers.
I'm looking for it. So it's more of a crisp than a crumble, which because technically like a crisp, when you call something a crisp, it's got like the topping includes oatmeal in it, whereas a crumble usually does not. So did you see the dog? Was the dog around? Where is Rocky?
Oh, did you try and post a link and the bot got you, Andy? Sorry about that. We have a Discord, though, if you would like to post a link there. That is
That's
another
okay.
option.
We'll let, if Fallen Age can do it or Robbie can do it, we can let you. I'm assuming you're posting a link to a Jaffa cake.
Yeah,
It's okay.
that's why the timeout's only 5 seconds, as most people don't know.
Chotovoyta calling it a biscuit. So they did a weird thing to prove it. So biscuits are taxed differently than cakes.
That's interesting.
British Corner Shop. So is that here in the here or is that in the UK? Okay. We do have nearby where I live, there is a store that specializes in stuff from the UK. Like almost everything in their store is UK. We also have a German one where almost everything is from Germany. Sorry, Bobby.
She's dropping stuff and she's not even cooking.
And it's your phone too.
Oh, great.
Hey, there you go, Andy. You can post the link. Your version of Central Market has everything but those. So you have a Central Market out there in California. I also have a Central. Oh no, in Seattle. That's right. You're in Seattle, not in California. Yeah,
There you go.
it's
It
so
works.
funny because we have
Yay.
a Central Market too. Thank you, Andy. We also have a Central Market here, so and it's similar, but we don't have the seafood department that the Central Market up there has, which is phenomenal and so cool. I was like, we are making fish tacos because we can get some really awesome fish for so much cheaper than what I can get it here in Texas. It sends you to the Texas one. You know why? Because the Texas Central Market is actually part of a great big chain. How did you do? Thank you so much.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
there you go. Take your bow.
Thank you,
Take your
Rachel.
bow. And so I'm sure they're a bigger chain than the one because the main grocery store is H-E-B, which is still awesome in and of itself. But then they have the specialty version, which is Central Market, which I love. He took his bow. You gonna take your bow again? Encore.
Thank you, Rachel.
Encore.
Thank you, Rachel.
My sauce probably doesn't need to simmer anymore. We'll turn that off for now. Let it cool down before I stick it in the blender. So that's about 2 pounds of rhubarb, and maybe a little less than that. A pound of strawberries minus a little bit. You know why it's minus a little bit? Because somebody had to taste test one.
You're welcome. We're safe now.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad we're safe. So now we're going to put 1 1/4 cups of sugar in here. And I know I got the sugar out. Sugar.
Just a little bit.
There's only a little bit of sugar in this, but you really want that because you want to pull the juices out of the strawberries and and have just like this nice gooey mess. All right. And then we need some cornstarch, and we need a lot of that. Ooh, I hope I have enough. It may not quite be enough. Pops must be looking at the site right now. Very excited. 2. That's all my cornstarch. So it's supposed to be 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. What that will help with is that'll help thicken that liquid so it's not just juice running down and you get that kind of pie consistency. And then we need some lemon juice.
Yummy!
That's the lime, this is the lemon juice. This is one of the reasons I love my store because they have fresh squeezed juice. And I need 2 teaspoons of that. And then I need some vanilla. So, yes, we will be serving this with ice cream. I don't know if we have vanilla ice cream, but we have goat cheese ice cream, which I think would be good with this. Goat cheese honey ice cream. We haven't made ice cream since our game night. Vanilla. How many of you are like me? You're like, a teaspoon of vanilla is a suggestion. I don't know, Robbie's just staring at me like, what are you doing? And the answer is, I don't know. So we get that all stirred up. This would have been better in a bigger bowl. So, unsweetened cranberry juice. That's the only juice you like. I mean, it's not like I like to sit down and have a glass of lemon juice, but vanilla's very overpowering. Yes. So Venus Tranquility. So we did on one of ours, we actually made cajete and cajeta. And I said that wrong, so cajeta. And it's actually like a caramel, but the caramel's made from goat's milk instead of cow's milk, which makes it different from dulce de leche, which is usually made from cow's milk. And it was really good because it has like this tang to it, right? So like when you use goat milk instead of regular milk, you get more of a tang, kind of like using buttermilk. All right, that is mixed up. I don't know that you'll like rhubarb. I don't know if you can have rhubarb, so you cannot have rhubarb. And we'll set that aside. And then I'm going to make the topping for this. Actually, let's stick this in. What do you think we should put this in? Robbie's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that one. Perfect. Good choice.
I always get it right.
I was just about to suggest that one.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you turn the oven on to 375? Because I have not done that yet. And there is all that goodness that I'm kind of getting everywhere. But that's okay. We don't care. And now, let's make our topping. Puerquitos. I don't know that I've had puerquitos. I'm going to assume does it have some sort of pork in it? And you would think that living in Texas that I would have heard of it. Oh, you know what I probably should have done was gotten the butter out. But luckily, I have one of my Kerrygold sticks here, already cut in half.
I'm sorry you're allergic to strawberries.
Oh, well, you know what? You could do this and just use rhubarb, but you'd want to actually probably increase the amount of sugar to make it sweeter. Or choose a different fruit to put with the rhubarb. You could put probably blueberries would be good, or any kind of berry, as long as you're not allergic to it, right? So gingerbread shaped like pig. See, look, I knew there was a pork something to it. Does it have pork, or is it just gingerbread shaped like pork? I love ginger, so I love gingerbread, ginger cookies, ginger ale, ginger.
Ale.
All right, 1.5 cups of light brown sugar. Where's my other measurer? I like this one for stickier things. So we need, how much do we need? We need 1.5 cups. So let's go with 3/4 cup twice. That math checks out, right?
Yes.
Raspberries might be good, yes. Although I still think you would probably need a little bit extra sugar if you're using raspberries. Do you like the way I get my brown sugar out? No.
How else would a professional streamer do that? That looks right.
I mean, I guess technically I'm a professional streamer, huh?
You do it however you like. It is your show.
And Robbie's not sharing with any of you.
No, I'll share if there's any left.
That's what I mean. Nectarines with the raspberry? Maybe, that might work. Although I guess you would maybe want to just use the juice, because I don't know about the texture, how the texture of a citrus is going to be in the crumble, if that makes sense. Like most crumbles are made with things like peaches, apples, berries of various kinds. I know, why am I doing this? We can make Robbie do this.
No.
Robbie could be in
Dana.
charge of the dessert. And honestly, when you're making a crumble, like a lot of times I don't even measure this stuff. I'm measuring it for you. Because a lot of times I'm like, that's close enough. Because we're not trying to make like a cake or a pie or cookies or something where it matters a whole lot on how soft is the cookie, how hard is the cookie, or how fluffy is the cake. And the ingredients really matter a lot, like the proportion of the ingredients, not just the ingredients, the proportion of the ingredients. So, if this were me just sitting here in my kitchen making this without people watching, I would probably just be like, yeah, that looks like the right amount. So, oh, right on the hour. Perfect. I meant to do that, Andy. That was my plan all along. If you do it enough times, if you bang this enough times, eventually one of them will hit the hour. So I haven't decided what we're making for Sunday. What do you want me to make on Sunday? I'm thinking next Thursday I'm going to make the recipe that Pops put in the Discord. The Japanese pancakes Well, I don't even think it was, I think it was last week, maybe earlier this week. All right, that's close enough. So I am going to be doing it in a gluten-friendly way. So we're going to see how that turns out. I actually have a gluten-free flour that I'm going to be using to make this crumble, which is why, see, I did it right at the 6:02 hour, Andy. It was perfect. So we're going to give that a try and see what it's like using the gluten-free flour versus gluten-full flour. So I have got my Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour that I thought I would try for this. Because I figured if I was doing a crumble or a pie or something like that, you really, really need the gluten in those, I think. Otherwise, the texture's off. But with this having oatmeal in it, I don't think it's going to be quite as important. I could be completely wrong, so I guess we'll find out. Where did all my measuring cups go? There they are. So I'm going to put in for this one 1.5 cups of this flour. You can use gluten-full flour. You'll use the same amount. We're going to see if this is the right amount for this. It's supposed to be 1-to-1. So it's supposed to work just like regular flour, but I have found in some of the things that I've cooked it doesn't work right. But in some things it does. Now I need 1.25 of, actually, you know what I want to do first though, I think. I'm going to start by getting this butter mixed into the sugar and the flour, and then I'll add the oats in. And then we'll continue to do that. So, you didn't think about, oh, so yeah, I should try those pancakes and see if I can do those in a gluten-friendly way. Maybe we'll make them both ways, with the gluten and without the gluten. So okonomiyaki, right? That's how you say that? Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I don't mind eating a little bit of gluten. I only know that I'm going to pay for it the next day. Or maybe the day after that, depending on how much. So like that night we did the milk bar cake and I had a slice of the milk bar cake. Yeah, I paid for that for a couple of days. Was it worth it? Yes. So I just always make sure it's worth it. So let's see here. Sunday, ooh, a roast dinner, roast potatoes, vegetables and gravy. It sounds heavy though, because I'm in Texas right now. Although I say that and I love a good smoked brisket, which is also very heavy. But yes, that would be good. Sounds like ground yam is most of the starch. Okay. So we'll get that. That is the plan for Sunday, is to make okonomiyaki. It is. So it's in the Discord, Lindsay, if you want to see the recipe. But I'll sing you a song's husband is an excellent cook. Let's see. Yeah, so I do want to try it both ways. Because some things I try it gluten-free and then I'm like, it's not worth it. You know, like when you're making, again, Robbie and I really like this lasagna. So while it is a little less heavy than other lasagnas and it is, has less fat in it, less calories in it, it still is lasagna. Because you know how sometimes they're like, hey, make this, and you're like, it doesn't remind me of it. Like there's some like gluten-free mac and cheese, gluten and dairy-free mac and cheeses. I'll eat it and I'll go, it tastes good. It doesn't scratch the mac and cheese itch because it doesn't taste like mac and cheese. And then there's some things you're just like, nah, not even gonna eat that again. So all you can do is try, that's it. Travel on an empty stomach on a Sunday. Got it. Both of us have been there. Although Robbie, when he went, was sick the entire time. Is that accurate?
Sick enough anyway.
I went to go watch American football in the football stadium. So Wembley, saw the Chargers and who are they playing? The Saints. Saw them play, and it was fun. I know. It was. I'll tell you what was interesting about going to see that game, and it's because my daughter's dad worked for the Chargers at the time, and but what was interesting about that is, you go to an American football game in America, and people are wearing one of two jerseys. They're wearing the home team's jersey or the away team's jersey. When you go to England, you see every single NFL team jersey. It's like whichever jersey they own is what they wore to the game, and it was so amazing. I think the Jaguars were the only team we didn't see a jersey from.
Poor Jaguars.
So it was fun. We're going to give it a try, Lindsay. I may mess up every single one of the pancakes up, but we're going to try anyway. You'll never buy gluten-free pasta again. Why is that? We have gluten-free pasta tonight. It's a brown rice one. I've done the chickpea one. The chickpea one holds up, I think, a little bit better than the rice ones, but I couldn't find that in a lasagna noodle. But some of them are not good. Some of them fall apart or they're mealy. Some of them are fine right after they're cooked, but they're not good as leftovers. They get sticky. Robbie's probably encountered that.
And it already doesn't taste quite the same when it's fresh, and it's even more so as leftovers.
All right, let's get these oats in here. Lentil pasta is usually pretty good.
So you won't be making that mistake again, is what I'm hearing.
All right, 1 and about 1/4. That was my measuring. That's more than I usually do. Let's see here. So now it wants me to put some cinnamon and some salt and some oil in there, which is interesting. How much? 3 tablespoons. Not olive oil, though. Although I love olive oil cakes. What to do? We'll get a little cinnamon in there. I thought I had everything out, but I did not. So this is interesting because I've never put oil in my topping. It's always been just butter is my fat. Let's see if I like it. So, hello Claire. Paid, which is a Tuesday. Can't wait to get your season ticket. Yes, I know. I got to go to some football games over there. We traveled and did a few of them, and it was fun. Very interesting atmosphere. And
I got to go to one. That was very nice.
everybody's really into it. Then I was told, okay, so the away team did not win. Don't get on the buses right now. Wait. Just wait. That's awesome. I'm going to tell you, here in the States now, trying to get the season tickets for anything, any sports, is crazy expensive. You know what? I don't know that I need all of this crumble. That might be too much crumble. I think I'll save some of this. I've got more fruit in there. I can make another small one later. But, that's fine. We'll do that. There we go. There's our crumble. Mac and cheese pies and haggis suppers. I've never had haggis. The kids are screaming outside. Oh no! We unfortunately have a street, a kind of main-ish street behind us, so. It's only like 40K for season box. Yes. Only. All right, that's going in the oven. Look at that timing there. Wasn't that perfect? You know what it's time to do now? It's time to start making our lasagna. I'm gonna get that put together and then we'll have Robbie make us a drink. All right, sauce is done. This is the sweet side of the board. We'll flip it back over to the other side. Okay, I did that in there. You want to read it to me while I wander around the kitchen aimlessly? No? So that's a no. Oh, he walked away. That's what happened there. So let's see. You're getting some floodlights, so I can't wait for those nights, yeah. The pan is full. It's in the oven. It's all good. So now, let's wash these things again. What do I have to chop? Do I have anything to chop? Yeah, I got a little bit to chop. Now let's make our different layers for the lasagna. We've already got the sauce. And I think next what we'll put together is our meat and mushroom layer. So the first thing I need to do, as most of you know, is I need to ground my beef. And I am using for this, because we're trying to make it a little healthier, normally in my lasagna, I'll use like a mixture of Italian sausage and some sort of nice fatty meat, like a ground chuck. But today we're going to do, I'm going to do sirloin. So sirloin still has awesome flavor to it, but it'll be a little less fat. Also, that's kind of good because it's not going to make a greasy, lasagna. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm also going to start my water and get it to boil so we can do the lasagna noodles too. Let that start heating up. Where are the sound effects? He's looking for the sound effects. Do you hear the sound effect of the velociraptor?
That one's unfortunately real. It doesn't come with a very good mute button.
He's a character, that is for sure. Okay, I have. There you go. Well, he kind of sounded like that. Meat grinder. Here, can you come and lift this up on top here? On the board. Because if I do it, I'll end up messing up somehow. Turned. So you guys can see. You guys want to see. That dog. What do we want to put this in? The one thing I've learned about doing a cooking stream is you need 8,000 bowls. Or I do. I might do this wrong. There he is. Hi. Hey. He also lets me do this. Oh, are you gonna? No. Kisses, 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 kisses. Oh, thank you. Kisses. Is it getting close to bedtime?
It's like,
He's like, no, it's not. It's not getting close to bedtime. Last night, as soon as he heard the word bedtime, he went outside and he hid from us. So that was fun. All right, let's get this ground. And I don't know if you can see, but it's not like the ground chuck has a lot more marbling in it than the sirloin does. So this is what. You have to prevent your dog from going to bed at 5? Does your dog wake up early if he goes to bed that early? Because if Rocky went to bed at 5, that would really be awesome.
as long as he didn't wake up at 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked the question. Oops. I may have put a little too much in there. It's leaking. Looks a little like a horror
I was
movie.
gonna say, is the machine supposed to look like it's bleeding?
And Eric. 5 to 5 and then 5:20 to 5. Is that a bad thing to sleep for 12 hours? Because, I mean, I would be ecstatic if Rocky did that. We usually, it does look like a horror movie. Just for that sound effect. I hope that was okay, Andy. Hope that didn't scare you like before or startle you. Come on. Come on. Oh, stereotypical people. Yeah, I think this will be the dirtiest this has ever been, Robbie. Robbie likes his new sound effects. I had to listen to them like all afternoon the one day he was playing with it. Hey, stop. There we go.
There's still some left.
Oh, there. Now it's there. We got it. Let's get that off of there. And then you can take this mixer and put it someplace else.
Done with the mixer?
We are done with the mixer. That dog, what is wrong with him?
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. I will clean that off. We'll get it clean. There's our ground beef. And I think I need to put that in there. I hope that's right, since I did it. Oh, yeah, I need to clean. We will need. I try not to get anything contaminated. But now all of this is too. Would you like to wash those for me? Are you like, would I? Would I? Yes! DJ Robbie. I don't know that I'd call Robbie a DJ, but.
It's okay, somebody else already did. That's all that counts. That's all that matters.
Doesn't matter if you say it, Dana. It only matters if chat thinks it.
And see, now you're getting how this works.
Okay, cool. Robbie's gonna now start taking the Stream Deck everywhere with the computer. He's gonna load it up with things for family gatherings. All right, whew. Okay, that's clean. So we're gonna have beef. And while that's happening, we will start chopping up our mushrooms. Whoops, look at that. I've done that before. If you've been here long enough, you've seen that I've spilled my water everywhere. Actually, I think Robbie spilled it. But anyway, you have a new pet newt. His name is Tiny. Why is Tiny? He's my newt. Also, yes. Also, hello, Bora Makat. How are you doing? All right, we're going to use the biggest. I want you to see, if you weren't here when we first started, these were the smallest portobellos at my grocery store today. The smallest ones. So let's get those ready. We're going to chop them up. I like using, for this particular thing, I like using the portobellos because they mimic ground beef the best. You go by Boro. Okay, Boro. I will try to remember that. I will do my best. Glad that you were here. I think you were with Darth earlier, weren't you, and Darth? So let's get all of those out of there. That wouldn't be good to mimic our ground beef, because ground beef doesn't have gills. You think if I do these two, that's like 4 of your normal, not humongous ones, or do I need the third one?
Probably.
You think I need the third one? Or no? What was, probably what? Can I get clarification on that?
I think 2 of those will be enough.
Okay.
I like mushrooms.
If you can't find portobellos, you could use, I would use cremini mushrooms, the little brown ones, because baby bellas, because you know what a baby bella mushroom is? It's a baby portobello.
Why would you want to use crummy mushrooms?
Not crummy. He thinks he's funny, Chad.
I'll be here all week.
Awesome. He'll be here all week. Okay, I need my knife. Let's chop those up. You like making, it's good. It's good to have that kind of attitude, right? We should all like to make people smile, but I'm a therapist, so I also like to make people cry. Speaking of therapy, at the end of the month, on May 28th, if you guys are familiar with Lil Miss Nikki, she lives nearby. She is another food and drink streamer, and she has some mental health initiatives that she's working on. So we're going to do a stream together on the 28th. That's a Saturday, and we're going to be cooking some food that's actually good for your mental health. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that there is a gut-brain axis that we have, and that we have certain neurotransmitters. We actually have more of them in our stomach than we do in our brain and in our brain stems. So what you eat affects your mood. So we'll be doing some things that are good for anxiety, most likely. I haven't put the menu together yet. Sounds like an excuse for comfort food. Yes, hello, Juan, how are you? Mental health food, yes. We're going to cook that, and we're going to talk about it too. I mean, mental health and food and everything. Have any of you guys ever heard of the polyvagal theory? Is that too deep for a cooking stream? It's a cranial nerve that we have in our body, and it's parts of it are connected to the stomach and digestive system. But I don't know, have you ever eaten something and you're like, man, my brain is so foggy, or you've eaten really well and you're like, I feel great? There you go. Thanks, Sandy. I'm so glad that you came by. How are you, Juan? I'm doing good. Robbie's over here doing dishes, not hanging out with us.
She literally told me to.
No, I told you to wash my knife
Oh,
and the bench scraper.
I got into it.
That's fine. Let's do later, right?
I'm in the zone.
So I'm cutting this up pretty small because I want it, once it shrinks down, to mimic the meat, these mushrooms. If you're just getting in here, we're making lasagna. We're making it a little bit more healthy, but it's still going to be good. So this is just a way, if we do little things for ourselves, like maybe adding vegetables to something that we normally wouldn't eat it with, or swapping out one fat for another, we can still have really good food that is a little bit better for us for a lot of different ways. And so we're swapping out some of the ground beef for mushrooms. And we're going to cook it with the ground beef, and then the mushrooms will take on the flavor of the ground beef. And mushrooms also have a lot of good minerals and things for you, too. You're waiting for your midterm? Test. I'm done with them for now. One of my friends is always like, you'll go back and finish your PhD. And I'm like, I don't think I will. Because I wouldn't be able to stream with you guys if I was doing that. It takes too much time. And we've got a strawberry rhubarb crumble in the oven already. Is this the biggest portobello any of you guys have ever seen? Because again, these were the small ones. There was one that was like this big. And I'm like, what do you do with that? I guess you could make a pizza, and your pizza crust could be the mushroom. It's huge. Multiple people could share it for dinner. You could make a big portobello burger, which is not really my thing. Yep, 2 of these is going to be plenty. This has so little fat in it, I'm actually going to have to add a little fat to this. I use sirloin instead of chuck or Italian sausage. But now at least the oil that we're putting in there is a healthier oil. We'll start throwing these in here. First ones will brown a little bit more. First. He didn't give me my bench scraper. He's too busy. Let's get these chopped up real fast. This is why I usually like to chop things ahead of time. The mise en place, you know what I'm saying? Because then I get frantic and then it becomes chaotic in my kitchen because I'm like, I gotta get this in. Uh-oh, mushrooms on the floor. More mushrooms on the floor. I hope mushrooms aren't poisonous for dogs. Okay, anything good for the weekend? Did I tell you guys our excitement for the weekend is cleaning the garage, our laundry room remodel is basically done. It's time to put things back. Robbie wants to be able to pull his car into my garage if it's hailing, which happens quite frequently in Texas. I still think I'm going to need a little more oil in that, but we'll see what happens once they start to, you know, when you cook mushrooms and they brown first, but then they start to release their water. But I've never worked with portobellos quite this big. Okay, so we reached, can we say that next Saturday we'll do the snack and gaming stream, Robbie?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, next Saturday, we will do another one of those gaming and snack streams. And what we do is we make some snacks in the kitchen, and then we go and we play some Jackbox games together. We had so much fun last time. Oh, it's a long weekend there. Elser's like, so Monday will be good. So we did make the goal pops. You resubscribed today, and that made us hit our goal. It doesn't look like it on here, but what we think happens is people who like have automatic renewals and don't do it during the stream, like it happens not during the stream, is they don't get counted in that goal. So we do, and Robbie just didn't have time. He usually checks and updates that, and he didn't have time today to do that. So we did. So last time we did nachos, pizza, and ice cream sandwiches. What are some ideas for snacks to make next Saturday? Because clearly we didn't do healthy snacks last time. But all the food was yummy. Any idea? It was fun. I hope more of you joined us last time. It was a lot of fun. And I say the more the merrier. I love it. All right, snacks. Go. What are some snacks that we can make? What do you want, Robbie? Homemade chips or fries, okay. You know I'm always up for fries, anything with potatoes. Grilled cheese sandwich. Ooh, could we do, you want more homemade ice cream? Okay. Tiny personal pizza with rolled out biscuits. That's awesome, I kind of like that. Grilled cheese sandwich, we could do little grilled cheese sliders. That would be good. Mini sausage rolls. Also sounds great. Okay, I need to see what else I need to put in here. Pink, bacon, chips, mushrooms, salt, a little of the, let's turn that down. I think these are all pretty cooked. Some salt in here. We're gonna put a little bit of our sauce in here too. Hello, Hippie, how are you? We're doing a slightly healthier version of lasagna today. Oh, you know what, Robbie? I put this over here to boil, but you know what I didn't do?
You didn't turn it on?
I didn't turn it on.
Oh.
So we're gonna make this a little saucier and put some of our sauce in there. Look, I didn't, maybe I won't put this in the blender. One less thing to clean tonight. Artichoke dip. I love artichoke dip. Ooh, what about fried avocados? What about that? So, hey, we need to give, oh, thank you, Fallen Age. Fallen Age got it. So, Hippie Wayfarer, if you like chill streams, good food, grandma's recipes, mom's recipes, make sure you go check out Hippie Wayfarer. Also has a dog, because we know that you're here for the dogs. We do. So, yeah, go check them out. Go give them a support. Fried artichoke, fried avocados. Yeah. So we went out to dinner recently, and I got a fried avocado, and it had like a like a spicy chicken something. I'll have to make up something to put in the middle of it, and so you put it in the middle of the avocado, and then you roll it in something, and then you deep fry it. So I thought I would create my own version of that. The other thing we had the other day, we went to a place called Bishop Arts District outside of Dallas. I went to this restaurant and they had baby fried artichokes. So maybe instead of artichoke dip, I could try to do these baby fried artichokes. But they're lightly fried, so they're not like this deep, heavy thing. And then it had a lemon ricotta sauce on the side. Oh my gosh, it's like one of my new favorite obsessions. So, and puppies, yes. So yes, we fry everything in Texas. This is true. We do that. All right, let me taste this. I mean, what's so good about this is it still tastes like the regular filling from a lasagna. So Hippie, on top of this slightly healthier lasagna that we're making here, we also have a strawberry rhubarb crumble in the oven. So I'm going to assemble all of this and get it in the oven since it needs to cook in the oven, and then we're going to make drinks. So I'm a little behind because usually we make drinks somewhere in the middle. Oh, Robbie's writing down all of the ideas. Any other snack ideas that we have? Okay, so I got to boil the noodles. I think I have fresh spinach, so I want to cook some of that down to put in the ricotta. Ricotta, spinach, egg. Oh, I need to get eggs out of the other refrigerator. Salt, pepper, nutmeg. Okay. So I've got baby spinach here. So what I'm going to do with this is just real quick wilt the spinach and make a lot of noise. So make a lot of noise and wilt some spinach. That is what I'm going to do. And if you guys are saying something, chat will catch up in me. Our fried mushroom, we could make it a one. I think I've had it with tempura, like tempura fried mushrooms before. Drinks with cooking, this is exactly right. You come here to chill too. Oh, awesome. Woo, there we go. So I just want to wilt this. I've got baby spinach here. And again, I don't usually buy things in these packs, but today, rather than buying the fresh spinach and prepping it and cleaning it and all that stuff, I did this. But you can totally, 100%, doesn't really change the flavor. You can use frozen spinach instead. I just happened to be at the fancy supermarket where the fresh was cheaper than the frozen. So, hello Trembles with Beer. How are you? If you're calling me mom, are you a friend of Kelsey's? Or I just look like a mom? Because I kind of, well, my description says I'm just a mom in the kitchen too, doesn't it?
It sure does.
I am just a mom in the kitchen. I am so not here for that, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. What brought you here to us today? I'm Dana, and behind the scenes is Robbie, and occasionally making lots of noises would be my Velociraptor Maltipoo named Rocky. Otis will sneak in. He's old. He just tries to fly under the radar. So, your mom is literally here. Okay. I see. Oh, thank you, Hippie. Thank you. Recharge the glass. Well, thank you so much for resubscribing. So, Hippie, I don't know if you were here. Well, thank you for the follow. Is it TN Guy? Is that what I should call you? Tennessee Guy? So Hippie, we reached our sub goal for the month, and so next Saturday we're gonna be doing some snacks. We're taking suggestions for snacks that we'll make, and then we're gonna play some Jackbox games. And that way everybody can participate. It's one of the things I like about it. Whew. Come on, spinach. Now we could throw some water in here too, probably. I lost some.
You lost some.
I did. I lost some spinach. Yes, we had so much fun. We did it last month, and we had such a fun time. It was a lot of fun. Robbie's family comes. A lot of the chat was in there. We talked about raccoons. And so since we talked about raccoons, we made a new emote. So I think Family Friendly will be off just because it's hard to know what's going to be in the Jackbox games, if you know what I mean. And we didn't get too out of hand with it. I thought we did pretty good. Chicken is good. Held a moss. Oh, raccoons. So Venus Tranquility, we had a raccoon that got in through the dog door and got into our pantry at 3 in the morning. So that was fun. I think that's good enough. All right, we've got some cooked spinach there. I'll let that cool down while I get the rest of the stuff ready. Come on, water, oil.
The dog alerted us to the raccoon.
Yes. You lived with a raccoon as your nearest neighbor? You must have been out there then, huh? Yeah, so the dog, and we didn't have the puppy yet, so we had just my older dog who every once in a while would go and bark out the window for a minute in the middle of the night. Didn't happen very often. And this night he was barking. I was like, I'm gonna go check and see what it is. He's in the kitchen. He's barking at the pantry. I look in the pantry. I didn't look for very long. And I didn't see anything, so I shut the door, went to the bathroom, came out and heard in the pantry. And that's when I woke Robbie up, and I was like, something's in the pantry, so you need to come and get rid of it. So we did.
And then speaking of possums, there was one on the porch when I was leaving the other morning that I got to deal with. Looks very, very mean.
It came. So Venus said that the raccoon came nose to nose with her Shih Tzu. So I think this one was, there had been 2 baby raccoons that were hanging out in the tree and on the front porch and stuff, and I think it was one of them. But that was a while ago, so haven't seen them since. But we don't live too far from, I live about a quarter of a mile from Army Corps land that's near a lake. And so we get the coyotes and the deer and the raccoons and the possums, roof rats. Those are fun. They're not, but. Okay, I think my water is boiling over here. We're gonna put some noodles in here. And I need to look, I wanna see how long these are supposed to cook since they're rice. Cook rice pasta according to package directions. 12 to 14 minutes, okay. Just because I don't know if it's different. Whoops, there go little pieces of pasta. We probably don't need those.
I did not know that either.
Dead palm tree leaves. Interesting. Well, we don't really have any palm trees around here.
Not a lot. There's a few people that have planted them.
I think they're in the Army Corps land.
Well, that's true.
I think that's more likely. I may not. I think some of my water boiled away there. I need another. Oh, you cleaned the bowls. Yay. Aren't you excited?
I think the answer is yes.
Can you go get me the eggs out of the other refrigerator? And you're not allowed to say, Dana, there are no eggs.
Dana, I'll go find the eggs.
No, he didn't kill it. What we did is we just opened the door. We closed all the other doors in the house, made sure the dog was safely put away. And Robbie had like a net and I had a broom. And once the raccoon felt safe enough, he just walked back out the back door. And we promptly put and shut the dog door from that. So we didn't have to kill him. I think he was more upset than we were. All right, so you always want to put, when you're doing the ricotta part, you want to put a pinch of nutmeg. Don't put a lot in. Don't put more than like a quarter of a teaspoon in or you'll get too much of a nutmeggy flavor. We're going to put our spinach in there. I'm going to push my pasta down so the whole thing cooks. Get down, pasta. We're going to put an egg. Yep, we're going to get egg in here. We're going to get some Parmesan. Ooh, do you know what they're doing at the grocery store tomorrow that I'd like to go do at 2? No, not tomorrow, Saturday. They are cracking a Parmesan wheel. And while they do that, they're going to...
What? What?
The eggs are frozen. We're gonna give this a try. They must have been in the back of the refrigerator.
Up top, yeah.
Up top and in the back. There we go. So as I was saying, they're going to crack one of the big Parmesan wheels, and then if you're there while they're doing that, they're going to do 20% off the Parmesan, which is a lot because Parmesan's expensive. It's like $20 a pound when you get it that way. So, random tiny scorpions that live in redwood trees.
Yeah, we have those here too.
We do?
Not very often. It's been years since I've seen one, but I've definitely seen a few. I think they're more common down around Austin. My brother's had a few at his place.
And they're snakes.
Yes, there's definitely snakes. Not that you see those every day.
Some people do. I saw a post the other day. It says, if you're looking at a snake and wondering how it got there, like showing on the side of the house or going up a tree or anything, say it's a rat snake. They're good for you. Let them eat the mosquitoes. That is a good question. I'm not sure about that. Does anybody else know? Does Parmesan have to come from a specific region to be called Parmesan Reggiano? Do you like the way I'm measuring this? It's about a quarter cup. Because I'm almost out of Parmesan anyway. So why not go and see what it's like and take pictures for you guys and post it in Discord?
The ones around here aren't that big. Like quarter, $50 size, something like that.
I remember being in Arizona, and I was at this at this resort that was like up in the mountains, and you look down on the city, and we're sitting out there. There's like nothing out there really. Sitting out there on this really nice patio that has like fire pits and everything, and I'm talking to some random people that I didn't know because I like to do that. And we've got our martinis, and the server came by and said, "Hey, by the way, there's some wild boar right down there, and if they come closer to you, you might want to run." It's like, oh, great. I've been walking in the all around all by myself out there in the Seguro National Forest. Hey, you know what? Taste test this, right? There's so much. So I don't know, Pops, if you're interested in learning a whole lot about food, but Simon Mujumdar has Eat My Globe, has a podcast called Eat My Globe, and so he talks about things, and one of his episodes is about fraud, but it's fraud from like food fraud from eons ago, like thousands of years ago, and all the things that have been put in place. Because we think about sometimes food fraud. Robbie and I were watching, what was it called, Rotten?
I think so.
A series on Netflix, I think it's called Rotten, and they talk about all these different kinds of food fraud that take place, or the food wars and things. So it's pretty, like, you got to know your stuff. So, have I had counterfeit Parmesan? Probably. All right, we're just gonna wait for those noodles, and then I think we are ready to assemble. Yep. Ready to assemble. Are you ready, Robbie? Where did oh, here it is. Dun, 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 9 by 13. If you want a thinner one, you can get a bigger thing, but I think that's 9 by 13.
That looks about it, yeah.
Is it? No, this can't be that. You think that? Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see. Food Insider has a video about counterfeit Parmesan. So Rotten did an episode about your hometown area. Which was it? Which one was it? Because I think we watched them all, or at least I did. I'm fascinated by that, because then it was making me think, like, how much do I love avocados? Right?
It's the garlic one.
Oh, the garlic one, yeah. We were talking about that on stream a few weeks ago when I could not find any good garlic anywhere. It was all just awful, and it's like almost all your garlic comes from one person in the United States. I think it's close enough. This is what we're going to be making it in. And I think these look done to me because they're going to cook more in the oven. So I don't want them all the way done. I think they're close enough. I'll do it here. And I need the oven on at 375, so perfect. We don't have to do anything. But we are going to have to check on that crisp here in a second. So, putting a little sauce in the bottom of the pan. And look, I'm keeping it chunky, although I think Andy's gone. Still keeping it chunky. And then we're going to do noodles. A layer of noodles. Look, it fits perfectly. It's the right size. Garlic ice cream. Now I understand why you want me to triple the garlic. Do you have people working in the garlic industry? Eat more garlic.
It's very sad when you find an ice cream that isn't good.
I once had to make, I worked at a place called Victoria's Ice Creamery when I was in high school. And while all of my friends got to wear these cute little uniforms and be waitresses, I actually worked behind for people who walked in and wanted ice cream and actually helped make the ice cream. And I worked with somebody who just insisted we make dill pickle ice cream. Don't make dill pickle ice cream. That's all I can tell you. What order would it like me to put these things here? Takes 2 days to make. That would be intimidating. Why does it take 2 days to make? Oh, okay, so apricot's how I support you. Okay, good to know. Let's see. We're gonna do ricotta first. Robbie's gonna check on the crisp here. That's why I got them.
No idea.
Oh my goodness. It looks pretty done.
I will pick it up.
Okay. I think it's done. So there we go. So what makes it take so long? Is it that the sauce has to sit, or what is it about your mom's recipe that makes it take 2 days? I mean, when we make the noodles from scratch, this takes a lot longer. There we go, there's our crisp. Bubbling. Can you see the little bubbles? Ooh, 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 yum. Let's see, simmered for most of a day, then cooled. Yeah, you definitely don't want to mess with mom's recipes. Now, I mess with my mom's recipes all the time, but my mom knew I messed with her recipes all the time. So it was just fine. So now we want another layer of noodles. That noodle looks a little like it's had better days. And I don't mind pulling my lasagna noodles right out of the pot like this. Since they're going to be cooking in the oven a little bit longer. And this helps like the sauce stick to it a little better. I may be making that completely up. And I'm trying not to overlap these too much. So do your best if you're making lasagna, not to really overlap a lot. But that's gonna have to do. Robbie's like, stop being so picky. Just make the foods. Aren't you?
I don't like it when you can read my mind.
Just make the foods, Dana.
Product placement. The serpentine
Oh.
was like right in the camera.
If only. If only.
We were talking about that the other night watching shows.
The product
Some
placement.
of the more obvious product placement.
When you're like, why was there that shot other than to show that? Okay, so this is the way it was. I'm gonna actually put a little bit of extra sauce on this one. There is sauce in the meat mixture. Excuse me, in case you weren't here. For the same dish and kind of vague about instructions. My mom actually writes on the recipe cards her changes in her cookbooks, all that stuff. I've started to do that more, but I thought the funniest thing was like when it was Kelsey's birthday last summer and we were streaming during it, I said, hey, we're gonna make this for your birthday because I bet you don't know this, but on your 13th birthday, your grandmother made this for you. She's like, I don't remember it. And I said, yes, but your grandmother wrote it on the card, so I know it's true. Uh-oh. Also, another mangled noodle. Your mother would probably not approve, hippie. It's good to have all those recipes, though. I need to make my grandfather's barbecue sauce, and then I'll probably change it. But I do love that they made their own things. So when I was little, my grandmother was still going to like the little grocer down the street. We would walk down. That grocer still existed, you know, where you'd go and you didn't do big grocery shoppings. You bought the food that you needed for the next couple of days. All right, we need like a little, are there any little pieces in here? For this poor little corner.
You would think you would have a mate in there somewhere.
Ah, that's hot. Robbie, that's hot.
Hot food is hot, chat.
Yep,
Confirmed.
there we go. Then we'll put this on there. We probably need to put a cookie sheet under this in there because this is probably going to bubble over. Measure with the heart. Yeah. So my mom was very much I need to know the measurements of everything kind of person. And she used to get freaked out. Like she'd come to my house and I go, about this. And she'd be like, wait, you didn't measure that. You didn't measure how much sage is going into the dressing. It's fine, Mom. It'll be good. So I think I'm going to just top this layer and then put a layer of noodles on top of this with the tomato sauce. Because we're getting to the top of this dish. Maybe I should have had a different dish. I don't know. Can you guys see the mushrooms in there? It smells awesome already. We'll make it look a little more even. Fill in the spaces with some meat because I got a little extra. Methodically change things one at a time. That's a really smart way to do it. That is, I don't always do things the smart way. I sometimes do things the chaotic way. And what's bad is that like sometimes I'll just cook with what I have and I'll just start throwing things, that needs a little more this, a little more that. And then people are like, ooh, can I get that recipe? And I'll be like, no. Because I don't know what I did. But Alton needed to do that with Elizabeth's recipes, right?
They had hired someone to go back and watch all their quarantine kitchen streams to try and figure out what she did.
Because people were like, oh, I want that carrot pesto or the carrot hummus that she made. And she goes, yeah, I don't really remember what I did. And that's me. I hear it. I know it.
Almost.
Ooh. There's one. There's one noodle.
These last noodles are like, no!
We're not going.
We're not going. It's nice and warm in here. We don't want to be baked and eaten.
I mean, that's your whole purpose. Why would you not want to fulfill your purpose in life? Your whole purpose is to be eaten and enjoyed. Move those over. Try to at least make the top pretty, right? Oops. Let's see, you've had to reverse engineer some. See, I wish I had more time to spend in the kitchen to do those kinds of things. I did during the pandemic when I was at home. I mean, that's kind of what got me into streaming, was enjoying cooking and doing stuff in the kitchen. But now that I'm back, like I'm actually working more hours than I anticipated working. and I still have a waiting list of people. And people keep calling me and saying, hey, I referred somebody to you. And I'm like, I probably won't be able to see him till August at this point. So now I don't have as much time in the kitchen. But it'd be fun to do a stream and show like what reverse engineering a recipe looks like, or show how we tweak recipes and things. I think that'd be fun, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You dread the loss of free time when you become hourly? Yeah. So mine is, I guess mine's kind of hourly, since I'm a therapist and, I bill people by the hour that I see them, but there's a lot of other work that goes on that's not part of that 1 hour that they don't get billed for. So if I don't work, I don't get paid. So that's the bad part. All right, we're gonna do that. Honestly, you know what? When I was growing up, one of my favorite things to have on top of a lasagna was a bechamel sauce, but we're not gonna do that tonight because that would defeat the purpose of making a slightly healthier version of lasagnas, to go ahead and put a nice lump of a butter sauce on it. It'd be delicious. But anyway, nice idea for stream. I think it would be fun. Okay, I'm gonna stick this in the oven, but we're gonna put a cookie sheet on underneath it. And Robbie's taller, so he'll get the cookie sheet out for me. No, put it on the thing underneath there. Yeah, that way we can let the air circulate more in there. Perfect. Okay, lasagna's in the oven. It's a while. Put 30 minutes on it. It's supposed to be 45. We'll do 30. And we may have dessert first. I probably should have made the lasagna first. What? You did me? Congratulations. That means that he hit the wrong start button on there. I mean, we've had these ovens now for 2.5 years, but we still press the wrong buttons. Hey, guess what time it is?
Taco time? That was the wrong answer, chat. That's what that look is right there. That is... Shame on me.
Shame
Apparently.
on you. I'm going to move this.
Is it
Hey,
time
hippie.
for drinks?
Yes. Hippie, look at this. This was the smallest portobello that they had today at the grocery store. The other two that I chopped were like that. What do you think of that?
So I noticed you had the recipe in milliliters today. Are you messing with me?
Well, just look at you do. It's like 2 to 1 to 1, right?
Okay.
Right. So you have 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of Aperol, 1 ounce of lime.
And the orange is just for garnish?
Yeah, and for rimming the glass and putting some salt and stuff on it. Except I don't have orange, but I have grapefruit, so we're gonna use that instead. Because that's what I have.
1 bourbon for hippie coming right up.
Okay, perfect. We've got it. We've got the full bar.
Well, you're not kidding there.
I mean, I have stuff in the laundry room because it doesn't fit in the bar. I don't have Colino's bar, though. Colino's got the big bar.
Is this clean, ready for me?
It is clean and ready for you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put these things aside. We'll leave the cheese out in case we want more cheese.
I'm assuming I'm shaking things up.
You always shake things up, baby. I'm hilarious.
You are hilarious.
Oh, and your dad says 1.8 ounces and 0.9 ounces. So do it that way.
Well, that's good. By doing 2 ounces will be pretty close to the original recipe.
That's what we're going to go with.
Won't be too far off. Boy, this isn't even open yet.
No, so the tequila we're going to be using tonight, we taste tested it at the
Oh, that's this one.
at the at the liquor store. And this particular tequila, it's female owned. It's in Mexico, and almost everybody who works there like is female, as well as like their master, what do they call them?
Well, so far I have a bone to pick with their seal.
Packaging.
Yeah.
So the brewers and all of that stuff are all women. So and it tastes really good. So.
Well, that's it. No drinks tonight. Can't get into the bottle.
Robbie. For your kitchen, so you've taken a garage. So Hippie, what I did was I just expanded my laundry room, and so now we pushed into the garage for my laundry room for mostly for kitchen stuff. And I had a refrigerator in the garage, and now it's in the laundry room as well. So I get it. I totally get it. And every time I get a new one, Robbie's like, really? Really?
Really, really.
So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put some salt on these rims. I wonder if I even still have the margarita salt in here.
So in goes the tequila. 2 ounces of that. Do the 1 ounce of the Aperol.
Yeah, so this is an Aperol margarita. Come on, open. You're gonna make this challenging for me, okay? Probably don't want to do that right in there. And then we've got plenty of time to chat. That's a lot of salt. You're welcome. And I'm very much you do not need the whole rim with salt or whatever your stuff is on the.
Did you already answer the what is Aperol?
What is Aperol? It's a lot like Campari. One of my favorite drinks in the summer is an Aperol Spritz. So it's just this with either sparkling wine, or if I wanted a less alcoholic, I put it with a seltzer. So it's kind of got, if you know what Campari is, it's kind of got that bittery flavor to it that you add to drinks. So that's about all I can tell you about Aperol. Lady Wafer just roll her eyes at me. New toys. Yes, exactly. So there we go. It makes a pretty drink. And you would probably put an orange or something on the edge of it.
Oh, you put the bottle right in front of them.
Right there. Aperol margarita. You have to get the pictures. You know that's important, right? And so the orange is really just for the garnish. You ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. I mean, we could put a lime on it because it does have lime juice.
Lime in the coconut?
Sure. I like that. Do you like that? Yes! Okay, so Robbie likes it. What we need is he likes it. From the Life cereal commercial.
I'll write that down.
So yeah, so that's nice. So I don't like my margaritas really sweet, and a lot of places make them too sweet. You know, they always say put agave or something in it. I'd rather put a splash of an orange flavored liqueur in there to sweeten it just a little bit, and just leave out the simple syrup most of the time. Now we've made some with like passion fruit and things like that, and that actually adds a lot of sweetness. So how can you not say shake it all up after that? You mean have the song, shake it up? Or shake it all up? Is that something different? Could do a little, I'm an 80s child, so not that I was born in the 80s. That's where I lived my life, was in the 80s. So the cars, shake it up. Shake it up. That's all. That's what
That's
I got.
all you got? That's all you got?
That's what I got. You put the lime in the coconut and shake it all up. Oh, I see what you're saying. After he said you put the
That
lime in the
makes
coconut.
way more sense
And I
now.
go, and you shake it all up.
Instead, I just got to look.
So I never had won anything. And this tells you how old I am. And a record store, yes, a record store sold vinyls before CDs. And they used to have this little thing you put your name in and your phone number. And like once a week or once every couple of weeks, they would pull names out of it. And I'm trying to remember if, and you'd get like 45s. And I can't remember, when was, I think Lime in the Coconut was later, but there was some other song like that, and I won a 45 from it. And then you know what happened? I had a great record collection. It had like over 200 albums and like over 200 45s. And my mom once asked me, after I'd moved out and I was married and gone, and she had said, hey, can I clean out your room? And I said, and she said, can I, get rid of some stuff? And I said, sure, just save the records. That's the only thing I really want out of that. Complete silence. Mom? Yes? Where are my records? Well, I figured that was the one thing you didn't want, so I threw them all away. It was a very sad day for me. I was like, are you kidding me? Anyway. That's when, yes, I had to very much censor myself with my mom. I'm like, what did you think what did you think I was going to tell you to get rid of? Like, she kept all my stuffed animals, but got rid of all my records. What's up with that? Talking Heads are great too. I love Talking Heads. I mean, I don't think I had a Cars album. I don't think I had a Talking Heads album either. Okay, so what were the options for snacks that we have so far?
So I have tiny personal pizzas from Rolled Out Biscuits, grilled cheese sandwich. Did I say sandwich? I said
You did say sandwich. Hello, Darth.
Mini sausage rolls, homemade ice cream, artichoke dip, fried avocados, and possibly even fried mushrooms.
What about fried artichokes?
I will write that down.
The empty nest depression. Yes. I guess. I mean, I haven't been living there for several years. I think my mom was just, it was an older house, and I think she was just trying to clean stuff out. Funny enough, though.
But those tax receipts.
She did have 60 years of tax receipts. Not just like the tax accountant had already said, just keep the last 7 years. We go down to the basement, and my mom has shoe boxes filled with all her receipts since 1962. But she got rid of my records.
Well, you didn't have to mess with that years later, so it's fine.
If there was something that was bought and it had a box, I could find that in the basement. But she threw away my records. Like, we were packing up all the Yadro, and people are like, oh, we'll just put them. I said, oh no, I know the boxes are down there somewhere. And I found every single Yadro box. My mom had a very extensive collection. It's crazy. Yeah. She was literally impervious to audits. She could take her sales receipts. So there was some years she stopped collecting the sales receipts because I think her tax accountant went, I don't want them. But literally, it probably would have been fun to go through one of those boxes and see everything that she had in those boxes, but I was really tired. So I threw away all of those receipts. Every tax receipt since 1962. 1962 to 2015. Every.
More than half a century.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it would have been, or depressing. or depressing. Also found, so when my grandparents had died, instead of getting rid of everything from my grandparents, all of that stuff went into the basement too. So going through all of that was also fun.
Learned a lot about paint.
I learned a lot about paint because my dad's family had owned a paint business called Reardon Paint. If you've ever heard of Bondex, that was theirs before they sold it. Yeah, lots of stuff. If only there was time to go through it all. My mom even had a real, like the old school pencil sharpeners in the basement.
We had one of those. Not in the basement though. No basements here.
Yeah. Basements are great, but also very challenging, right? Because you can just throw stuff down there and not deal with it, and then your children have to deal with it. So Kelsey, just to let you know, I'm working on getting rid of stuff that doesn't need to be here. Yes, Bondex the glue. Mm-hmm. You weren't invited to the auction. So I'm pretty sure that we took most of the stuff of value. So I don't think there was an auction. I had somebody go through it. Once my brother and I went through it, I had somebody else go through it and just decide, give it away, throw it away, sell it.
There was a pool table.
There was a pool table.
That was too big for the U-Haul. And heavy.
And where would I put it?
And in the basement.
And where would I put it?
Well, see, now you're just thinking 3 steps ahead.
Yeah. So it wasn't fun. Don't do that to your children. Don't do it to your children. Go through the stuff yourself. Don't be lazy. Oh, your childhood belongs out of the machine shop. Yeah. So that's the thing. My mom didn't really, like, if we took something, it was fine. But my mom didn't go through that. But I've known other people whose, my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, brought like a couple of giant suitcases of all of Kelsey's dad's stuff one time and was like, here's all of your schoolwork since kindergarten. He's like, okay. And then like threw it all in the trash. And she's like, wait, you're throwing all that away? And he's like, I mean, what am I supposed to do with it?
Catalog it. Pull it out every 6 months to look at it.
Somebody may want it somewhere down the line. Hey, should we try this dessert? Do you want to try dessert?
Should I take a picture of it first?
Yes, let's take a picture of it. You would have been informed about the sale? Maybe. We'll do it in the dish too. Let's see, what kind of dish should we put that in? And do you want to get ice cream out?
There's ice cream? Oh, right, the goat cheese ice cream.
I think there's other ice cream in the other freezer too. I just don't know what it is.
She's
I know I still need to
She
do.
still has these.
I know I still need to do something with this, but I haven't. I have frozen strawberries.
So you don't want the goat cheese ice cream?
We can use the goat cheese ice cream. That's fine. I just was offering up something else too. First, dessert.
It's still toasty.
It's not that hot. Look.
It's hotter when your hands were touching cold stuff.
It's not hotter, actually. It may appear hotter, but it's actually the same exact temperature.
Can I get a rolling eye emoji, please, in chat?
I'm just saying. See, I think it could have used a
Oh,
little
wait,
more.
I have my phone right here. What am I talking about? That's for me. That's rolling
Here,
my eyes
you
at
get to do
myself
this
for
part.
that.
I know. Ooh, goat cheese and fig ice cream. This is goat cheese and honey, right?
Yes, goat
cheese
cheese
and
and
honey.
Texas honey. Decadent goat cheese and locally sourced honey.
This smells so good. I don't want to eat too much because I also need lasagna. For dinner, we're having strawberry rhubarb crumble. For dessert, we're having lasagna.
Excellent. Do we need more ice cream than that?
Maybe. Hello, Kanara. Welcome in. I'm so
Hey,
glad
Kanara.
you're here. Make sure we give a shout out to one of the best streamers and so supportive of me when I first started out. So love that you are here. So make sure that you give Kanara a follow, because if you're not following her, why not? You're missing out. We planned that.
Freeze frame. Oh, we're adorable. Or something, anyway.
I think that's good. Do you want to
Well,
get
that's
pictures?
good because it's empty.
'Cause it's
So I'm glad that's good enough.
So, Kanara, we're eating dessert first because our lasagna's still in the oven cooking. So, all right. Oh.
So it's just like being back
Photo?
in St. Louis and having Ted Drew's before dinner.
Oh, yeah. So if you're ever in St. Louis, if you haven't been to St. Louis, you got to make sure Ted Drew's is like an institution. It's a frozen custard place. And there was a day that we were at, we were at the baseball game that day.
Probably.
And so we went and we got frozen custard after the baseball game, and then we went and got Italian food. And then Robbie's like, I love St. Louis. They eat dessert first. Do you want a fork or spoon?
I'm confused. You handed me one of both,
I-
and now I don't know.
You
I'm
have
like the
options.
dog stuck equally between two bowls, and I will
Options.
starve
Okay. You starve, I'll eat.
because I can't decide which way to go. I think it's a dog. It might be another creature.
Oh. I love strawberry rhubarb things. I love rhubarb. Hey, Kanara, do you like rhubarb? I know you're
Kanara
not a
says
big...
use both. I'm using both.
Okay. I know that you're not a big fruit fan, but do you like rhubarb? Perfect. Look at that. You're one of those people that uses a fork and a spoon when you eat your pasta too, aren't you?
A fork and a spoon? For pasta? Mm-hmm. No.
Okay.
I was questioning my whole life there for a second.
Well, Sarah says, yay, dessert first, so we're good.
You know, I forgot to make Hippie his drink. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. What's in your drink, Hippie? Bourbon and what else? We'll make Robbie make you a drink.
Yes, the spoon is for twirling the pasta.
That's what I'm saying. You have the fork, you have the spoon, and you twirl the pasta. You looked at me like
You got
I
to
was
make sure you
weird.
twirl it the right way, or Deborah will yell at you.
Yes.
My first cooking class.
He got yelled at. Well, I don't think that was your first one.
We've had this discussion before. I still think it's the first one. The world will never know, though.
No, the first one was when you did.
There's a lot of salt. I forgot there was salt in the glass. Oh my gosh.
See, that's why I like to only put it on a little piece of the glass. So
Right, I had turned it accidentally.
Well, you love salt. Bourbon, okay. So Hippie's drink is bourbon and ice cubes.
We can do that.
So I don't have any of the right ice cubes because I need to get my big ice cubes back, the forms back in the freezer, because that's when you can do it perfect, like, so you know the water doesn't melt too much. So you love strawberry rhubarb, Joyce. Why aren't you here eating this with us, huh? Kanara says, wait, you're not just supposed to pick up the plate and scarf the pasta? That is an
definitely
acceptable
one option.
That is an acceptable way to eat really good pasta, for sure. Oh, occasionally add mint. I do have mint. I have spearmint. I have sweet mint. And I learned recently that basil's a type of mint, which makes sense, I guess. But espresso granita with whipped cream and gelato. I don't think I have. I've had a lot of desserts, Pops. I can't remember them all.
Which one? Which one?
What?
Which one?
Well, that's not bourbon. That's just Serrano. He's really trying to make you a drink, but he's pulling out like almond liqueur.
Shows my expertise on the brown drink.
Yeah, let's see.
We got moonshine.
We do have moonshine still.
Where's the bar cam?
I know, where is the bar cam? Isn't that your job? Okay, maybe I don't have bourbon. I usually have bourbon. Hippie, we may have drank all the bourbon. I have rye.
And by we, she means her.
I have rye. Look at this. We're looking for bourbon for Hippie who can't actually drink the drink. But now I know I need bourbon, so thank you. Because I don't think I have any. I have blackberry liqueur. I have dark rum. I have aquavit,
Moonshine.
moonshine. I have jet fuel moonshine. Whiskey, salty caramel whiskey. I'm sorry, I have gin, I have
He was on the way over and everything.
Jameson. Oh no, I do. Wait, here it is. It's hiding. There's a tiny bit left. You can have the last. This is what happens when we have time in between food. See, we just get into all sorts of trouble.
Look how much you get.
Hippie says, I'll take moonshine. Okay, so we have this moonshine. We went, when we were on our 2-week road trip, we went to this moonshine place and did a moonshine tasting. So the first thing is, as we're sitting there doing this tasting, is the person doing the tasting says, now just drink it really fast so you don't taste it.
It's like, what? That's not how
Wait.
you sell liquor.
And so then one of the bottles that we got, they said, are you driving? And we're like, yeah, we're driving. And she goes, okay, because you can't take this on the plane because it might explode or catch on fire. And it's like, oh, good, but we're drinking it. Fabulous. So this blackberry liqueur was for a drink, Kanara, that we discovered in Albuquerque that had tequila and blackberry liqueur. Do you remember what that was called? I'd have to go look it up. Do you remember?
I've slept since then.
It was really good. Yeah, we had some Jameson. Maker's Mark is bourbon. That is what we got.
It says whiskey. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. We're good to go there. Quick correction there on my part.
So now I need to put bourbon on my list. Cheers. Cheers, Hippie.
You're drinking his drink? That's the last of it.
Quality control.
Oh, that's right. That's a callback to earlier with the strawberry.
Yes. Robbie was quality control, was QCing earlier. So there you go. Yep. So we're going to check on our lasagna here in a second. You like it in lieu of grenadine? So Kanara, I actually made my own grenadine, but that's a great idea. But it's funny because it's so dark. So when they're using the grenadine to kind of have a different color to it, like somebody gave me a recipe on the stream, we just like last minute made a drink. It was called the Pink Flamingo, but my grenadine's so dark that it didn't turn out pink. It turned out purple though, it was a pretty color. So, I have to tell you, I haven't had slow gin for a while. Or did we use that to try and make drinks for the bar for Kelsey? Was that one of the things?
It rings a bell, and I don't really
Yeah.
drink gin, so that's certainly possible.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
like the
don't
gin
remember.
and Sonic?
Maybe. Maybe I was trying to make it blue. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of experimenting
It's
for those
the end of the
beverages.
week. Both of us are like, we're so tired.
Because there was the gin and Sonic, there was...
We had the gin and Sonic. So if you don't know my daughter, two things about her. She co-owns a retro gaming store in Seattle called Pink Gorilla, and she's also the co-director for the for the Video Game History Foundation. I get yelled at because I always put national in front of it. It's not that. Video Game History. Thank you, right there. And they're a nonprofit, and they're like trying to save all of the old video game history, not just the code and stuff, but also like promotional materials or things that developers may have gotten as presents along the way, anything like that, right? And and thank you for putting that up there, Pops. So you can always donate to them, but